Quick crypto bringing you quick Kaspa news. The SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, has just given a huge green light for Kaspa, and truth be told, the timing of their announcement couldn't have been any better for this project. With 10 block per second crescendo hard fork onto the mainnet coming out within the next 4 to 5 weeks from now, smart contract testnets with the likes of Casplex and Idgra Labs coming out in the next 14 days, and their full release coming out sometime in Q2. Stablecoins as well for Kaspa will also be coming around a similar time frame. In my opinion, not financial advice of course, with so much coming to Kaspa and the timing of these developments in the crypto space, I believe we are going to see early signs of mass adoption for Kaspa this year, this cycle, because people are still very much sleeping on the likes of the institutional adoption coming through with the KII, what they'll be bringing to Kaspa. People are still very much misunderstood on the sort of uniqueness of Kaspa's block DAO protocol and architecture and why it's so unique to everything else in this space. And the SEC has now just paved a way for an increase in adoption for proof of work projects like Kaspa. What was previously a bit of a grey area is now as light as day, as the SEC just stated yesterday that proof of work Bitcoin mining, therefore like proof of work Kaspa mining, does not violate securities laws. That proof of work assets like Kaspa are not securities, making Kaspa officially SEC resistant. Very, very bullish news. We can see here from their statement yesterday, 20th of March 2025, statement on certain proof of work mining activities. The introduction states here, as part of an effort to provide greater clarity on the applications of the federal securities law to crypto assets, the divisions of corporations finance is providing its view on certain activities on proof of work networks known as mining. Ultimately, this guidance here focuses specifically on covered crypto assets, which can be clarified as likes of Bitcoin and Kaspa, which are essential for the operation and security of public permissionless networks. The statement aims to provide regulatory clarity on protocol mining, which they give a bit of a detail and explanation of what protocol mining is here, which refers to the mining of these assets. This text here, this massive body of text, effectively explains how proof of work consensus mechanisms operate within public permissionless blockchain networks, how proof of work incentivizes miners to validate transactions by rewarding them with newly created covered crypto assets, aka the likes of Kaspa and Bitcoin again, and you receive them when you mine a block. The whole process of mining actually secures the network, making it difficult to manipulate transactions. And miners can also join mining pools to combine resources to increase their chances of earning rewards, with the pool operators coordinating activities and distributing earnings, minusing of course the fee that they charge. Ultimately here, as we can see in this very clear post here, the Division of Corporation Finance clarifies that protocol mining encompasses both solo mining and participation in mining pools on proof of work networks. And this does not constitute a securities offering under the Howey test, which is crystal clear confirmation that Kaspa is not a security. We already knew that, but now it's confirmed, officially confirmed from the SEC here. And this is because miners, whether they operate individually or within pools, they are the ones primarily contributing to their own computational resources to secure the network and validate transactions, rather than relying on the entrepreneurial or managerial efforts of others for profit, because proof of works are truly decentralized, unlike proof of stake networks. This is a very big deal. The SEC are making some significant announcements and confirmations and shifts in crypto right now. Speaking of which, as we are speaking in this interview as we're recording right now, the SEC Crypto Task Force is currently holding the first of a series of crypto roundtables. The one today talking about how we got here, how we get out, defining security status. They're trying to actually lay clear rules of the road so we can get some clarity in the crypto space. And of course, we've already got some big confirmation regarding proof of work, which is bullish for Kaspa, giving Kaspa the green light for more adoption. Potentially, it's the reason why today Kaspa's currently up 1.0% on the daily time frame, valued at 7.87 cents. Very good to see right now, and better still, we are still sleeping, in my belief, on the KII, the Kaspa Industrial Initiative. They are doing so many massive things behind the scenes with their institutional clients, and I personally believe they're going to be a critical part in providing a lot of mass adoption for Kaspa in this cycle. But quickly before I get into that, I just want to quickly remind all of you watching that we have a community here which are actually trying to learn a lot more about the space through institutional research documents, alpha information, private live streams, trade alerts, and so much more, which you can join for a 7-day free trial. A little peek behind the curtains of what we provide there, if you will. So if you're interested and want to learn a lot more to make the most of the incoming opportunity of the crypto and Kaspa, then go down below and check out the Coin Factory CF Executive What page in the description. But now to get back into the video, we can see here from the KII, in response to this post here, they talk about how we have a digital asset framework, principles and opportunity for the United States, taxonomy defining digital assets here. This post here, they ultimately highlight this slide from Michael Saylor's SEC Crypto Task Force presentation and how the KII themselves will be soon meeting with the SEC Crypto Task Force. Again, they are doing a lot of very, very good things, and a lot of the developments in the crypto space right now already defining that Kaspa is not a security, which is very bullish to see. So the KII will also be meeting with the SEC very, very soon, but that's not all. They're also, while they're in DC, going to be meeting with many other agencies, institutions and others to discuss Kaspa and the projects being built on it, some relating to energy trading and other businesses, which is again extremely big news. Is why I believe we are currently sleeping on the KII. I mean, just check this post out here from Captain Sat. This here is a list of all the institutional partnerships the DII Desert Energy has, and the KII is effectively another arm of the DII Desert Energy. And you've got some big companies here, like Shell, as a DHL. You also got the likes of Bosch, you got the likes of Hyundai, you even got Eon, and many more. And truth be told, you've got to keep in mind again, this is an institutional, initiative, if you will. So therefore, it is my belief that there are very likely going to be some form of names that are not listed here that we cannot know about due to NDAs. That's called speculation, but that's typically how the business world tends to work. So I believe there are going to be many more big partnerships with Kaspa coming up very, very soon. And all these industries here are in partnership, technically speaking, with Kaspa. Captain Sats highlights here, imagine if Paul Van Sant and crew can convince some of these partners in DII Desert Energy to build on Kaspa's industrial layer. KII respond here saying that group, so all these people, that group all meets together again in about 6 weeks time in Abu Dhabi. This post was 2 days ago, so 6 weeks from now, all these people are going to be meeting again to discuss Kaspa, as confirmed when I got a response from them earlier today. And we've already heard some information, some bullish news regarding their previous meeting in Abu Dhabi. About 3 to 4 months back, they had a meeting again in Abu Dhabi showcasing one of their projects being Gigawatt stablecoin to their energy industry colleagues, and it was well received. There are so many major projects coming out through the KII onto Kaspa. All they are waiting on is opcodes. Once they get opcodes, all these projects from Gigawatt stablecoin to ZETEX to the KMIF to Olive Chain to Asset Mint to KSpace 3D to WarpCore, which I believe one of the biggest ones in this space actually is WarpCore. All of those will be able to launch almost instantly once we get smart contracts. Again, not far off now either. Speaking of WarpCore here, this is why I believe it's such a big thing, one of the biggest projects for Kaspa, and I think is one that we're definitely sleeping on. WarpCore, the middleware for a truly global institutional grade financial system. The world of cross-border finance is evolving at breakneck speeds, demanding solutions that streamline payments, uphold rigorous regulatory standards, preserve privacy, and scale with growing needs. WarpCore, a special, easy-to-use middleware running on Kaspa's cutting-edge block-DAG architecture, creates a direct pathway for establishing financial institutions to modern digital money networks. Built on global standards for seamless integration, it's compliant with ISO 20022 messaging standards. It's a very, very big deal to have this sort of connection, this seamless integration, which allow Kaspa, therefore, to be well incorporated potentially into the cross-border payments network. The KII have also stated as well, WarpCore on Kaspa is going to make XRP irrelevant. XRP right now is the current leader for cross-border payments and these institutional partnerships and whatnot with ISO 2022 as well. And according to KII, thanks to Kaspa block-DAG architecture, WarpCore on Kaspa will make XRP irrelevant unless you want a slow, centralized and questionably launched project running the banking system based out in the United States. The rest of the world wants something else, a decentralized, censorship-resistant system that can actually provably scale and confirm in seconds. That is the reason why the KII originally approached Shy way, back in last year to build the KRI and work with Kaspa, because they wanted to be able to have true decentralization, the utmost security against government overreach and bad actors, but also have it to scale. And Kaspa is the only project in this space that can be truly decentralized and also scale because of its block DAG architecture. KRI, we're definitely sleeping on them. They're going to be such a big thing coming to Kaspa, and they're working again close with these institutions, with the other people in the space like the SEC, who are now seemingly giving the green light to Kaspa as well. And hopefully in due time, as a result, we're going to start seeing some understanding of Kaspa come back. People are going to understand what makes Kaspa so unique. We've got this thread here that was posted recently, this sort of back and forth between people in the community that ultimately are making a massive misunderstanding of what block DAG, what DAG actually is, what Kaspa actually is. I'm not going to go into the whole thread here, but this post here, this part of the thread here has got James Ball here, who ultimately states this comment here that the trilemma has already been solved by more than 10 blockchains, which is completely false, because every single project in this space is a proof of stake, therefore it is not decentralized, and some of the other ones as well, equally, they are not secure and or not even scalable. So of course a response was made here from Escape Squad here, saying Kaspa is the only solution. Nothing quite literally solved the trilemma just yet besides Kaspa. Optimized to perfection with DAGNight coming out again this year. Everything else from Ethereum to Solana to sharded parallel blockchains has a drawback in scalability, decentralization and or security. And again the thread goes on here saying every DAG blockchain has solved the trilemma. That is not correct. And Shy even chimes in here saying, you know, I have no idea what you're talking about. Goes back and forth a little bit here as well. Ultimately, Shy makes a post here that goes into more detail or give a kind of a final nail in the coffin for people to understand what it is. Effectively, this part here for the last time explaining the difference between block DAG and DAG in itself. Imagine a blockchain is a single line of train cars. A block DAG is like a train system where cars can split off and connect to multiple other cars, creating a web. Block DAG is a web. DAG in itself is just a data structure. So every single project in this space has a DAG. It's a data structure, but a block DAG, which is what Kaspa is, that is something completely different that not many have in this space, if any. And ultimately once more highlighting the very same thing every single Kaspa founder states, which is that Kaspa's not had smart contracts just yet. But they are being created. They're coming out in the next 2 to 3 months. We're not far smart contracts, and that will prove to everybody that Kaspa can scale and be the true trilemma solver. Ultimately right now, this is why Kaspa's mission is to live in the real world and not in crypto land. Right now, we're not trying to be a part of this kind of misunderstood web of people who are become warped into a centralized infrastructure, a centralized space where crypto is meant to be truly decentralized. That's what Bitcoin is meant to be, decentralized. And now everyone's saying we got a decentralized DEX, but it's not. It's behind a centralized authority. It's not correct. While most are strapping rockets on Lambos and aiming for the moon, Kaspa sets its sights on solving real-world problems for everyday folks and for the betterment of all. Kaspa's aim, crypto at the speed of the internet with proven decentralized tech powering actual utility in the real world. Kaspa is unique. Kaspa now has the green light from the SEC that is not a security. Kaspa has so many major developments coming out in the very near future that is going, in my belief, to trigger mass adoption for Kaspa. The KRI is going to be a key part of that as well to help bring more adoption, institutional adoption very quickly to Kaspa as well. But of course, do your own research. Better still, come chill, chat and learn more in the CF community. Links are down below. And remember, as always, don't be emotional, be logical. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now.